Okay, we're gonna get started. I think we have a couple of backers, but I might as well get into it. Did everybody sleep well? Yeah? Excellent. Let's go. So yesterday we did like a lot of big picture stuff, lifestyle design, and then kind of started talking about content with my workshop. Today we're bringing in Reid and Jake, and they used to work with Alfie. If you guys know Alfie Get Smart, like really big personal brand in the fitness space. And then they went out on their own, built up their own personal brands, and in the last 100 days have scaled to $100,000 per month. So they're going to be basically adding on to what we've been talking about and talking about how to scale a big personal brand. So let's give them a warm welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, team, for coming in. I appreciate you all coming in today. Today, we're kind of just wanting to break down what it kind of takes to build and then monetize like an authentic personal brand. We want to make it super clear, we are not the gurus, okay? Like, we have the simplest system. We're just here to basically travel, live a great life, but also document the journey, but also then obviously provide a great service to all our clients that are wanting to grow online and build businesses for themselves. Also want to make it super clear today that we run this business as a business owner, not as an influencer. So like the whole point of us growing on social media was to monetize and build a business and leverage it as like a marketing standpoint, rather than like just rely on just brand deals. Again, nothing wrong with it, but this presentation today will all be about like how to grow your personal brand the authentic way so people are bought into you, like you all love Alex, and then essentially how to monetize and then, from there. So we'll kind of give a bit of a backstory about ourselves. I'll let Reid go first.
Yeah, so essentially a year ago, or just around a year ago, I started creating content. I was studying a degree at the time, a degree in psychology, which I ended up finishing. I was also working a job in disability support, and I really liked it, but I knew that there was more out there for me. Like, then again, it gave me lots of opportunity, but I saw other people that created content live a life like something I'd never seen before, like traveling the world, making money with their friends, just living the lives of dreams, essentially. And so I took a risk and quit the job. I finished the degree, but I didn't want to do any further study. I started creating content around the same time Jake did. We actually are from the same area, but didn't know each other for a long time. We're both just the only two people creating content in one area. So naturally, we found each other. Someone was like, there's only one other dude around that makes content, so you might as well go meet up with him. And he drove to my house at 4 a.m. one morning to go to Bondi, if any of you are familiar, and watch the sunrise and film content together. So I met him for the first time, like
4 a.m.
super tired at 4 a.m. and now we're here.
I'm 21, how old are you?
I'm 24, sorry, I forgot for the reference, but.
So we're also like quite young as well on this journey. So I started off my journey kind of as a captain. So like I've been living near the water like my whole life. And so I was a captain at 19, but then I realized like that kind of wasn't the path that I wanted to go down. So I went to university, and then I quickly learned, like, I was studying business. I was like, business is not for me. I may as well just start my own. And so then I left university, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to go full in on content. I was working in a marketing agency at the time, and I saw the power of what ads could do for a founder, but I saw they weren't leveraging the organic side of it. And I knew there was untapped potential. So I moved to Bali, actually, like I started my journey here when I first came. Went all in on content, every day, single day, like kind of just like growing my account and learning not just how to kind of grow the presence, but how to monetize. So like I made my first like dollar online at 3K followers doing fitness coaching. And then I scaled that to 10K per month quite quickly on in the journey. And then I realized I don't want to get people abs. And so I was like, okay, this isn't for me. And then along that kind of journey, just growing my account, I developed like a good relationship with Reid, obviously. And then we both found our way working for Alfie Robertson, which is just like another big creator online. He has a community with over like 2,000 people. And so that was like great proof of purpose for us. Like we went inside that community, we became the head coaches inside that instantly. And like all the clients that we were working with, because we had like our own designated clients, started growing their accounts and then monetizing like extremely fast. And so then we were like, okay, cool. This is great proof of purpose, but like anyone, no one wants to have a boss. Everyone wants to work for themselves. So we were like, okay, we need to go ourselves. So then we did our own kind of consulting for a bit. And that was pretty good. Like definitely did well at the start. But then I was like, you know what? We're kind of working against each other here on the same mission. And so we were like, let's join forces. And then we basically joined forces. And again, I only touch on numbers because like it's just like a bit of proof of purpose. Like numbers don't really mean anything. It's just showing that the results are there and what it does. But like first month, we founded it on Jan 16th. First month we did 20K. Second month we did 30K. Third month we did 112K. Last month we did 150K. And then this month already we've done 150K. So like, it's not about like, again, the numbers is just showing the proof of purpose. But what we're really here today is to show like how content at the forefront is the vehicle to what you guys are trying to achieve. It's the most important part. Content is everything. And having a simple system, very lean team, which what you guys will realize today, I follow the Elon Musk method where it's like only automate when necessary. And so I don't automate at all until it's necessary. And I think that's like a really key driver to why we had success is I didn't get so caught up on like the back end or anything. I just push the needle forward. Well, we push the needle forward every day to kind of to get where we are. We have 4 accounts that we run, plus our YouTube's content, and then, yeah. And so we're gonna break down today, Reid's gonna touch on how to scale the brand authentically, and then I'm gonna teach you how to monetize the brand. And so, yeah, we'll kind of get into it. And what we'll be learning today is just how to build an authentic personal brand that converts, the brand suite system, which is a system that we founded very early on in the journey, and I believe that's like quite key to the reason why we're so successful. And it's essentially how to like make a sale on every sales call at the end of the day. And then what a 100K per month team, system, and output looks like at scale through organic social media, not a single ad. Okay.
All right, the first thing we wanted to touch on is that we find that a lot of people overcomplicate building a personal brand and being authentic. So we want to make it extremely simple because everyone thinks to scale to these big numbers, you need these systems, you need these teams and everything. But in reality, it's a lot simpler than you think, and we kind of embody that method with these 4 things. The first thing that I'd get most people to do if I was helping a specific client is to choose formats, simple content formats. It's good to pick styles that you actually resonate with. A lot of people will completely remodel someone else's content if they feel like it's working for them, but at the end of the day, it's them, it's not you. You have to find something that works for you and fits into your life. People running a business and content strategy often find that you just want to steal all the time. I'd find it best to go see what your life looks like, go about your day-to-day and feel what content fits into it. We all know someone that makes winning content. We all have model creators, people that we look up to. They're like, their business is sick, their content is sick. I want to do something like them, but I can't stress enough that you have to be you. Establishing your identity is also key. Lock in your fonts, your music, and your coloring. You want people to recognize your videos when you're posting. Again, if you're copying other people, you'll just be a worse version of them. You want to be recognizable. You almost want people coming up to you and being like, you're the guy who uses that squiggly yellow font. You're the guy who uses the Taylor Swift instrumental for your music. But again, super important. Like, I'm a guy who likes using the Taylor Swift instrumentals, the Katy Perry instrumentals. So I'll put them in my videos purely because I like them and I feel like it aligns with me. And you'll always get those people telling you to do it a specific way and trying to change. Don't change, keep it to yourself. Test and gather data. This is probably one of the main mistakes I see people make. They'll go out and try a piece of content, again, based on someone else. They'll try it for like 4 or 5 times, post 5 videos, see no result, then instantly scrap it. You have to stick with your piece of content long enough to determine whether it's going to work. Oftentimes you'll get to 3 posts, you'll get like sub 1,000 views and it'll be like, oh, maybe it's just not the format for me. I don't kill a format unless I post 10 pieces of content within that style. So if I choose a day in the life, I'll do 10 day in the life videos. Same font, same color, same music. I'll do a talking head. I'll do the exact same thing. Because if you quit too early, you'll never gather enough data to know if that was your format. It could be the 11th video, it could be the 12th video that succeeds, but you'll never know if you judge it too early. So the key here is to not give up too early with your content. Make sure you're picking 3 or 4 formats and test them consistently. 10 days is more of a minimum. Like, I like to drag it on for a while. Recently I did a series, which is a 30-day talking to the camera series. And on the days from the 20th to the 30th, I saw the most return, but I never would have seen that return if I gave up too early. Obviously, the first part of this, or the final part, is to adjust and improve. It's a completely iterative process. You want to analyze the performance of that period of time. Did it bring you follows? Did it bring you clients? If so, double down on the formats that worked and cut the things that didn't. People overcomplicate it too much. It's just about testing, keeping what works, and cutting out what doesn't. And now I'm going to break down a couple of the formats that work for me. But I want to preface that I like these formats purely because they fit into my lifestyle and I enjoy them. Because the one thing about content is volume is important. Like, I post every day. I have for every single day that I've started my personal brand, I've hit the post button. Like, there hasn't been a single day in a year that I've missed, and it's purely because I fit content into my life. I'm not going to say it's absolutely essential to post every day, but it's more about building a system that, again, fits into your day-to-day life. Like, everyone's got businesses to run. We've all got clients. We've all got family problems that might come up. The whole goal is to make content that doesn't annoy you so you can fit it in and be consistent. Talking heads, I think these are really, really great. They're great for trust building because it's just you and the camera. There's no fancy editing, there's nothing behind it. It's just you giving your value to people. And at the end of the day, the quality of follower that you'll get from that video is way better than any other video you can get. The second one is a day in the life, where I take people inside my world, the routine, the lifestyle. I show people what I'm doing. Right now in the modern creator economy, I would say that it's easy to put on a bit of a facade, like tailor everything to look super nice and aesthetic. And while that's fine for views, you're not going to attract the right kind of people all the time. You just want people to know and trust the real you, because if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you and they won't engage with you. The third and final format that I use all the time is storytelling. This has probably grown my account the most. From my 90,000 followers, I'd say that 75,000 of them have come from storytelling content. Essentially the wins, the failures, and the turning points of my life. I like to break it down into two different sections, and this again is more personal to me, but I have regular storytelling videos where I think about things on my month to month. So like my parents moving out of my home, like my sister getting married. So things that don't impact my life in a major way on the year to year, but they're still big things. And then I have global storytelling videos, just the name that I designed, where I talk about my life journey. So I'm quitting uni, I'm moving overseas, I'm going to Bali, I'm building my personal brand. And then I chop up these stories every few weeks. So I'll do a regular storytelling video, like about my sister getting married, like once every week and a half. So normally things on the month to month. Then every 2 weeks, I'll do a grand global storytelling video, telling my whole life story. Because these are the best piece of content. Oftentimes people will have a story video that they want to tell and they put it out once and then not do it again for 3 months. It's your best piece of content. You should be putting out your best piece of content all the time. This can be reflected in your pinned posts, which I don't have here, but if you have 3 pinned posts, and I would highly recommend you get them, my story should be the forefront of that pinned post and you should replace it every single week. At the end of the day, I do these formats because I enjoy them. They build trust in my audience and I can do them efficiently. And of course, they get me views. That's where the iterative testing process comes in. The one thing to note about your formats is you want to choose ones that bring you in a good quality of follower. And I'll explain that in a second.
I'm curious, out of all you here, are you guys all posting on social media? Like if you have, raise your hands if you guys are. And when you guys post on social media, is it corresponded to yourself personally or is it corresponded to the business that you guys are trying to build? Is it like a personal brand, like people follow Alex for Alex, or is it like they follow your business? What would you say? So raise hands for business?
It's both.
And then both, okay, cool. So then when you guys speak to these people, obviously you have an ideal client profile, right? When it comes to these formats, it's super important that before you even consider creating any further content, you come really clear on who the ideal client profile of that person is. And the reason why I say this is because you need to understand the emotions that this person's feeling, right? So I'm 21, I work and I travel, and as cliche as that kind of sounds, my ICP wants to do the exact same. That's all they want to do. Yeah. And so if you think about it, on Monday, that ICP, 80% of the my ICP is going into a job that potentially they feel a little bit dissatisfied with, a little bit unfulfilled, a little bit unsure, right? So if we correspond this to these types of formats, then you need to break it down in terms of the content that you're going to be posting. So it's okay, how do I maximize attention first with the right audience? And that can be done through a day in the life because it's short, it's sharp, it's quick, it shows proof of purpose because it's a day in the life. You can't live some random day. You can only film your day. So it's showing proof. That way I'm drawing my exact ideal client to my page and Reid's page. What then happens from there is you need to convert the viewer to a follower and you need to nurture. That's done through talking heads and storytelling, okay? Because that's authenticity, proof of purpose, and that's showing who you are, okay? And then you introduce a little bit of bottom funnel, which is just client testimonials, a little bit of results, a little bit of proof, just to show that you mean kind of business in a way, and that you do have an offer to provide. This way you're growing an authentic brand, you're showing, not selling, which is a technique I'm gonna show you guys in a bit, and you're converting because you'll get people bought into your vision. And the reason why I asked the question saying, are you guys business owners or creating a personal brand is because no one purchases from business anymore. They only purchase from the values of the business owner. And so you want to make sure that you tie your values into what you're kind of create. So that's also why we do these 3 kind of concepts, is because they all have certain purposes based off who our ideal client is going to be.
Something I don't see a lot of people talk about is the quality of follower you can get. A lot of people are focused on vanity metrics often and just how many views can I get, how many followers can I actually bring into the page. Oftentimes this comes when somebody does too many trends, or as I like to coin them, templates. Essentially, it's just really, really quick, fast-paced, engaging content, let's just say with music and text on screen, but you don't often show your face or you don't often speak to the camera. And of course, these are more shallow views because they're not getting to know who you are or your story, so you're not building any trust. If you focus too much on this style of content purely to bring eyes on the page, you're not going to build that trust. You're not going to share your values, you're not going to appear on camera as much, and you're definitely not going to tell your story. So this is going to dilute your audience. I would rather not have a trend video hit 2 million, 3 million views, because I know that those 2 million eyes, maybe 1,000 will convert. Those people will be on my account purely to look at those style of videos. So when I do tell my story and show up on camera, they don't like it as much. They won't engage, they won't follow, and they definitely won't be buying. So the key is to not bring in too many people with this style. They won't trust you. They might just sit in there. The worst thing you can have is followers that do nothing. Just empty followers that sit in there because it'll harm your future videos from being posted. This is why people don't buy, and this is why people don't engage with your more important piece of content. If you're doing a big storytelling piece and you've got 10,000 followers all empty, you might get that piece of content at like 2,000 views, and of course we can understand why that's detrimental. I was recently engaging with two different types of account. One had 140,000 followers and the other had 200,000. The guy with 140,000 followers built his account off of the template style. So trends, super quick. He gets 4,000 views for every time he tries to talk. So of course, there's no trust there, no build up. Whereas the guy with 200,000 views is averaging 300,000 views on his videos. And that's because he tells his story, he always shows up on camera and he speaks. So if you've been afraid to get in front of the camera, now is the time to stop. These are the two ways that I craft my stories, just to make sure the connection's getting in there. There is a spectrum and it's personal preference. I like to sit in the middle. The two sides are completely original content, which is getting more and more difficult with modern creating. The very first thing you can do when you want to make original content is just get out a blank Google Doc or even a blank notepad and pen. Don't look at your phone, don't be scrolling before, and just write out your genuine thoughts and your stories. This is quite difficult to do because it feels so strange to kind of not look for outside influence on how to optimize something in your life, like whether that be a hook or a structure. I think that finding and completing original content is amazing. No borrowed hooks, no templates, just a blank page. You can't be a leader at the end of the day by remodeling people's content all the time. Originals can one day become the style that other people copy. Your main goal should to be find a format that other people steal from you. I do kind of like love original content, but at the end of the day, we also want to be efficient and to bring views to the page. That's why I also remodel winning structures. That's why I said it's a spectrum and it's a balance. It's, whatever you prefer. Remodeling winning structures work off of building stuff from people or building stuff from other people who have already done the thing you want to do. So if they've had a winning script, they've got a storytelling video that's hit millions and millions of views, and you see someone else take that format, apply their own story to it, and get the same result, of course, it's going to be data for you to use so you can create it yourself. There was recently a girl who made a video structure that got 150,000 views from 150,000 followers, from a single video. And I saw another girl see that format. She took it for herself and got 40,000 views from the exact same structure. Nothing changed. She just input her own information and her own story. I'd suggest finding these by looking at model creators. So again, those you look up to, people who get great views, who run a great business, take their structures, put your own story in it, and put them out. The ideal is for you to sit in the middle and have a sense of complete original content and also remodeling others' content. This is how I remodel my winning structures when I do them. The first thing I do, and the easiest thing, is to have just an extensive model creator list. I've got 20 model creators, all from different niches. So some from health, some from storytelling, some from lifestyle, some from travel. So there's always someone to go to. I find their story videos that hit at least 5x their normal views. Oftentimes when people look to recreate a video, they'll go to a big creator and they'll see that they have 100,000 views per se, and they think that's a sick video, I'm gonna recreate it. But oftentimes that's their flaw. When you go to a creator's page and you see every video's got 100,000, you don't want to copy that video. You want to find the outlier. So if they've got one with 2 million, 3 million, that's what you want to replicate because it's got data that it breaks the average. There is no point remaking an average video. The second thing I do is simply download the video. I'll download the transcript or download the Instagram video itself on an app called Save from Net or anything. You can find it on Google. I'll transcribe it. So I'll go to an app called turboscribe.ai, which we'll provide at the end. And then I'll drop the script into that. It'll download it for me, and then I'll put it into a blank Google Doc. And then what I'll do is analyze the transcript and then write one side by side. The key here is to keep it super similar, because especially you're remodeling it. All you're doing is inputting your own story, your own values, and your own clips. Mirror the length, the way they speak, how fast the clips cut, and the overall vibe of the video. Of course, it's gonna be yours, it's your own voice, it's your own B-roll. It works because their structure has worked for multiple people, not just one. If you can find multiple people that have used the exact same structure and it's worked for them, why wouldn't it work for you? Growth isn't a time thing. Of course, everyone wants to grow faster on Instagram. They want to grow their personal brands, grow their businesses. It's an inputs thing. Let's just say it takes 1,000 posts to hit your goal. If you post once a day, you can get there in 1,000 days. If you post twice a day, you can get there in 500 days. If you post 3 times a day, 333 days. You guys get the idea. Everyone thinks it's like, it's going to take me a year to grow my personal brand, but in reality, it's inputs, right? Time is simply the opportunity to act and the opportunity to do things. So if you have the capacity to raise your volume, it's the easiest thing you can do to grow your brand faster. This is probably the biggest one. I've been waiting for this the whole time. This is the most important thing you can do. How many people are using trial reels right now, just by a raise of hands?
Every day?
Trial reels. If you don't know what trial reels are, this is going to be even better.
Who's posting them every day? How many times a day?
Stories.
Trial reels.
Trial reels, not stories.
Does anyone not know what trial reels are at all? All right, this is going to be great. If you have above 200 followers, chances are you have trial reels. Most people know nothing about the greatest tool Instagram has ever given us. We use it every single day without fail, and we absolutely max it out. So these next 5 slides are going to be how to change everything on your page with just this one simple thing. The idea is that trial reels make what's normally completely unpredictable, which is growth, slightly more predictable. This is how I grew sustainably. Over 11 months of creating content, my growth hasn't just come from my main feed reels, my 1 a day. It's come from my trial reels running underneath everything, and I'll explain now. Trial first, then max it out.
Explain what it is first.
Yeah,
Like
so
how it
trial
works.
reels, right? It goes into a completely different space. It's a toggle. So let's just say you go to post a regular video. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a toggle that says trial reel. And essentially what this is it goes out to a completely different space, not on your feed. So it doesn't show up on your main page, it goes into a completely different space. You can access this in the Reels tab. Where you have your drafts, there'll be a section that says drafts and trial reels. That's where you can go in to look at them. The whole goal for trial reels is to post as many as possible. Like, it goes out to a complete non-follower audience, so your return on the videos themselves are major. For every post that you'll ever make, it should go out as a trial reel first. You can get 2 uses out of every video, therefore double the engagement, double the views, double the clients. So if you post it as an actual reel first, and then as a trial reel, Instagram will recognize it as the same video and it won't push it out. So it's essential for literally every video you guys make from now on forever, you post it as a trial reel first, and then as an actual reel. You can literally do it one after the other. Yes?
So you don't mean go in as a trial reel and then like add that video to your page? You mean separately post?
Yes, separately. And I'll get to that at the end because I'll go super extensive. But the breakdown is every single video that you guys create on CapCut, whatever it is, as soon as it's done, just go upload it as a trial reel, and then instantly after you can post the real video. You get double use out of the same thing. Yeah.
Quick question, do you usually like slightly tweak it so that when you post the second one, the algorithm recognizes it as it being evergreen? / do you ever just share that trial reel to main? Because I've done that a couple times. Sometimes it's fucking pumped, and sometimes it's absolutely flopped.
Yeah.
And I don't know like what is the best way to go about it.
No, that's right, perfect. I'll get to it. But yeah, there is definitely like a part in here where I'll talk about varying them. But as for like a one-on-one, if you're making a video, you can post it once to trial and then once to your actual feed without any changes, and you'll get double the engagement. So the main thing here is to post your maximum number daily. And the weird thing is everyone's limits are different. Like I can post 11 trial reels. Jake, how many can you post? 8. So everyone's got completely different limits and different things they can adjust. So the best thing for you guys to go do is find your limit. And it's quite an easy method of finding your limit. You'll just be posting them as many as you can, and you'll get a notification saying you're about to reach the maximum number of trial reels you can post. And then as soon as you get that notification, you just swipe off the app, don't do anything for 24 hours. Because if you post, you'll get banned from trial reels for a month, and that's extremely detrimental for the reasons I'm about to show you. Yes?
So when you say like post your max trials reel, like do you post like the same video many times?
Yeah. Now I'll get to it. But yeah, it's essentially you want to be posting your best performing videos, but like I'll break it down in the next slide here. But the goal is as soon as you get that notification, just don't do it because a 30-day ban is not fun.
And the question I get all the time is, yes, you can just post them back to back to back to back, one after another. You don't have to like wait in between. You can just I upload them at the end of the day. Let's say it's 10 p.m. I'll just post 8 at once, and then it's done. And it's like post. Yes.
Do you ever publish them then, or do you delete them over time, or what?
No,
They
that's
run
like
in the background,
yeah.
but we're we'll run through it all,
Yeah.
and then after this section's done, we'll answer the trial reel questions.
We get a crazy amount of questions for this, and we've also got a resource at the end that like kind of breaks down trial reels for you because we know it's a more complicated thing. But the goal for your trial reels is to recreate your winning video. So if you've got a video that's hit like 1 million views, 2 million views, or whatever it is for you, the whole goal is to go and use that video as many times as possible. So there's one thing you can do, right, which is every time you make a video, post it as a trial reel and then post it as an actual reel. But what's better is going and finding your best performing videos and then posting them as trial reels. The thing is though, you have to go edit it in the original platform of editing. You can't just have the complete video and add something to it because the algorithm recognizes it as exactly the same if you do that. So what I do is I'll go into CapCut, like the original file of like, let's just say a storytelling video that's hit 1 million views, and I'll go change as little as possible. The thing is though, everyone's got different limits. So people have to change different amounts. Like Jake has to change a lot more than I have to change. For me, it's as simple as changing the music volume and like the color grading. So I'll move the saturation from 5 to 6. I'll move the font size from 11 to 12. So things that won't actually damage the integrity of the video themselves, but will still get the Instagram algorithm trick to thinking it's a new video completely. So the goal here for me is I make 10 variations of that 1 million view video. I post them all like before I go to sleep so I can wake up and I see all the new followers from each of those videos. Post varying versions first. Normally you can do this before rule 1, and we'll give you the slides after this, but when I make a really good video, like before I post it just once as a trial reel, and let's just say I put heaps of effort into it. It's a storytelling reel, it's taken me 3 hours, but I'm just not sure what hook clip to use. I don't know what to use first, and I don't want to mess it up because I put heaps of effort into it. I'll keep the video exactly the same, and I'll use 10 different hook clips. So like I'll see which one performs the best. I'll post them all at the same time overnight. I'll wake up and then I can see the views because the video is the exact same. The only thing that's changed is the hook clip itself. So not only is it a way to get extra views, you can find your best performing clips and audios by doing this, and I do it every single night to make sure it's an iterative process.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Like, I think what you said about posting them all at the exact same time is kind of crucial because in my experience posting trial reels, if you post one now and then one an hour later and then one an hour after that, it'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, is this one getting more views because you're first or like, do you literally just post them all?
Yeah, back to back, like instantly.
You test the data then. So if like if you're posting it brand new and you're wanting to, at the end of the day, go post that video, like because you haven't tried it, you're just seeing which one performs the best. Then if you spread it out, there's stagnated views just due to time, which is like the determining factor. So just post it back to back to back. And then at the end of the day, I just go in and I say, okay, cool. This is the best performing one of the day because it has the most views. I only go off viewership. I don't need to go off like likes, comments, or engagement. It's just views. And then that's the one that I'll post, but he's going to touch on it.
Yeah, this is the most important one. People will have trial, like for those of you who've used trial reels, some people have a trial reel that's maybe hit 1 million, 2 million. It's super tempting to show it to your page. Just like put it on there because there's an option where you can show a trial reel on your main feed. Does anyone know based on the other rules that I've talked about why this would be a bad idea?
Because you get double the engagement.
Because you get double the engagement if you post it twice. People all the time are showing their trial reels purely for the vanity metric of having a 1 million viewed video on your page when you could just have another 1 million viewed video on your feed and get double the engagement for the whole thing. This is my golden rule. As soon as you post a trial reel, do nothing with it. It just stays there forever. You don't delete it, you don't archive it, it literally just sits there. The only thing you should be doing in your trial reel tab is simply looking at the views to decide what you do next. What to actually post as trial reels. And again, we'll touch on this at the end with the resource, but your best performing content that's aligned with your goals. Earlier, I touched on the quality of follower. So we don't want to be spamming random trend reels that are getting millions of views because they're not giving you any connection. What you want to do is find things like your My Story or like a What I Do or like how to break down your business because you're reaching non-followers. You want to build trust in these people. Talking heads are often too boring for this sort of thing and trends don't convert because they're not enough for you. So like I said, personal content like your My Story converts the best. And here's a bit about our method, but you can go on.
Well, back on the trial reels quickly. We run it as basically we take social media as an unpredictable market and we turn it predictable by basically running organic ads. So we'll run lead generation ads, comment CTAs, so like a trailer to your page type of video where we'll have a script which we'll provide to you guys at the end. Basically, it's like a trailer to our page where it's like, if you're this person, this person, this person, and you're wanting to do X, Y, and Z, comment the word this or follow along, right? So this provides predictability followers, but it also provides predictability growth in terms of revenue because what will happen is every single person is following is an ICP follower. My DM setter will then reach out to them because I'm doing follower outbounds, which I'm about to get into. Now they're all qualified followers, which turn into qualified buyers. So we get a lot of our revenue just by having a VA, we just have a VA, and she just posts 8 on my account, 10 on Reid's account, and then we both have 2 second accounts, which I'm gonna touch on. And this is just constantly fulfilling followers, which is essentially just organic leads every single day. Every single lead is just coming in. We then run lead mags to this as well. So like we will be like, comment the word the CTA if you want to come, if you want like the trial reel strategy. And then they will like comment the word, and then my DM setter will reach out to them. So this is a great way to not sell on your main page, because I don't care what I post on my trial reels, because it doesn't, 1, sit on my main page, and 2, it just goes to random followers, all new followers. So it's like I'm just running paid ads to my ICP, but the scripting is the most important part. That's where people go wrong. They don't know how to script it correctly. They don't know how to target their direct ICP. They're also very unsure of who their ICP is, so it's hard to speak to them then. Where meta ads, you just like click a button, you're like, this is the person that I want to target, right? So this is how we also generate like a lot of our kind of revenue, and we also then will find whichever CTA does the best, and then we'll just rinse and repeat, and then we'll just go through the cycle.
Yeah.
So all of your bottom of funnel conversion content is done as a trial.
Majority, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, majority.
And also for any of you guys who are concerned about like, I don't have a good my story, I don't have a crazy storytelling video or anything, the resource at the end is a script that anyone can run to bring in the highest quality follower. Oftentimes when I run these trial reels, I'll only get 1,000 to 2,000 views, but I'll get, I'd say 10 to 15 followers for every 1,000 views or so. So if I'm posting 10, I'm waking up with 100 new followers every morning that my setter will then outbound and put through the funnel. So it's an extremely predictable system that I don't need to stress about.
And it isn't, yeah, you go.
From what you just said before, are you gonna go into more details about it?
About the trial reels, or?
About like, I didn't understand when you were talking about like the VA and like what she.
Yeah. So I'll be touching on that as well. But essentially, when it comes to our VA, I just can't be bothered to make 10 trial reels every single day, to be honest. So we just pay a VA, which we have SOPs for, and we provide these SOPs, which we custom build ourselves for all our clients. And then what they do is we then support them with the VAs. And then this VA will jump into their account and have access to CapCut, because on CapCut, you can share 1 extra person for free. So then she just has access to our CapCut and our Instagram. And she's essentially, we give her like a very detailed SOP on how to do the trial reels. And she will then just take the trial reel and post it, and then just write the caption, the CTA in the SOP. And then essentially every single day, I know I'm waking up with at least 100 followers. That's 100 new leads every single day, right? And me and Reid both have, like I have 60K, Reid has 90K. And so it's like, we then have 2 Instagram accounts as well, which I'm gonna get into outside of this, which is like purely for bottom funnel content. So it's like, we maximize trial reels for honestly just money, like just lead generation. Of course it grows the account, which is like proof of purpose and growing, but the reality is like, we're just making money without selling on our accounts. We just sell through trial reels.
Yeah. Trial reels are a crazy tool. Like it's essentially going from posting like once a day to posting 10 times a day. So and only reaching non-followers as well. So it's probably the craziest hack. If you guys don't know anything about them, now is the time.
How are you guys comfortably giving access to your account to the VA? Are you using Authenticator app? There used to be like a shared access feature that I can't find.
You just gotta run it.
We just let her in.
Yeah.
We just let her in. It's kind of chill.
Yeah. It's just part of the game. Like she can't upload it otherwise. And like, yeah, it's just like trust, I guess. We just have a good VA. Cool. Now we'll get into the business side of it. So top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel is essentially how I structure our content. And top of funnel just brings eyes to the page. This is those kind of edit type of videos. Make sure, again, it's corresponded to the audience that you're trying to target. Middle funnel is connection based. Bottom funnel is conversion. A lot of this is done through trial reels though. I barely sell on my Instagram. The main account, document the life. What is this? Okay, so primary, wait, did you make this one? Yeah, this is you.
Essentially, we have 2 accounts. We don't want to run all off the same thing. Like Jake will explain later, we like to go through a method called show, don't sell. So essentially what I do on my main account is like elicit curiosity in people. Like how does he live the lifestyle he lives? Like how's he traveling the world with his friend kind of thing. The whole point is just to document. It's more of a top of funnel page. The job is just to bring eyes to the page, like earn trust through showing up every day, doing talking heads, doing storytelling. I don't go deep into the inner workings of the business here because the whole plan is just to generate attention. The business inputs though, there isn't absolutely nothing. Like I still have things that allude to the fact that I run a business growing personal brands. I mean, it is plastered in my bio and also in my highlight bubbles. I'll have client wins, but nothing too intense because all I want to do is show people the lifestyle that I'm living. The only other thing I'll do is occasionally in a day in the life, right, where I'm being authentic, I'll show myself working. People are obviously curious, what does he do for work to be able to travel to these places? So it's, again, arising curiosity in people, but not telling them exactly what they want. So they'll come curious and they'll think, how does he live like this? And that will pull them towards the second account, which is this, Reid branded. Essentially, this is completely different to the main one. The top of funnel account, main one, is purely for eyes on the page. This is for conversion. There is nothing on there to bring in a major amount of eyes. I don't care about the views. It's purely to convert people. So all I'm doing is just giving value. It's linked in my bio. It focuses on only middle and bottom of funnel content. Every post targets my ICP's pain points and tries to solve their problem. So essentially all I'm doing is talking about content, talking about personal branding. I'm talking about the mistakes people make when trying to grow their personal brand and business. It's powerful because I know that every single follower that comes in through this account is interested in content and personal branding. There's nothing exciting for them to see, so the qualified potential of these followers are huge, especially if we run trial reels off this account, which we do. What's on it is essentially, aside from the videos themselves, testimonials, videos, screenshots, proof of purpose, a little bit about my story, and everything leading up to where I'm at in business. This account isn't designed to get views. That's what the other account's for. This one is purely to convert all that attention into followers, into qualified buyers. You don't need 1 million followers to make money. That second account with 2,600 followers makes more money than my main account does. It's how they work in connection. You don't need that many to have good leads.
Cool. Now, touching on team, this is our team. We sit at just under, I think it's like 94 point something % profit margin. Obviously, we're 50-50. I just have one DM setter. I do all my sales calls because we worked out what our hourly rate was, and I did outsource it to a closer, but it dropped to like 30% close rate because obviously the founder closed the best. I also really like the sales calls, so I do that. We've slowly shifted to DM setting, which is something that I'm, DMs closing, which is something I'm not going to touch on today because it's way too in depth. But for the team, it's me, Reid. So I myself sit on the back end. I have my own personal brand as well, of course, for lead generation. But the reality is like I deal with all our clients who are business orientated. So we don't just, like I'll break into how the kind of structure works of what our offers are. But essentially like for our one-to-one clients, we're scaling their business. So I deal with that side. I deal with like the monetization kind of part. Reid deals with the marketing. So like kind of the forefront. He deals with client fulfillment on the content side and kind of because like he's definitely one of the best in the game at the moment for our content creation when it comes to like building that authentic brand. Setter, Ange, and then full-time CSM, TRI. TRI was our first ever client. And now he's a full-time CSM. He just like runs on like a bit of a salary and he just deals with like client satisfaction because we have a community outside of our one-to-one clients that is essentially like needs management, right? And so from this, what happens is this is how we basically break down the brand suite system. And the reason why we created this is because in the market that we're in, we have definitely multiple ICPs. And it's one of those things where it's like you either want to create a personal brand, grow a personal brand, or you just want to make money through it, right? And you just want to essentially just learn how to monetize a personal brand. So the way that we kind of structure this is in 3 ways. The show don't sell. Now this is what we just touched on the whole start, is like how to sell without actually like selling, without being like a guru. Like me and Reid are definitely not that. We just want to like create a personal brand, but we're also in it to make money. Like we only like do content for obviously like network, capabilities, personal brand, like travel, everything, right? What I then brought in is this thing called the concierge. Now, how this works is like, think of it as like a hotel, okay? When you walk into a hotel, you are driven in by maybe like an advertisement or like a lead or like an ad or organic social media, right? Whatever it is, you're going into a hotel for some reason. That is driven from our personal brands. That's like the brand, and so that's the attention. Once you walk into a hotel, you are then entered by the concierge, which is like the lobby, right? And I like to break it all down into like metaphors because like I visually learn that way. So the lobby host is the DM setter. She's the one that's qualifying everyone, okay? So she's going through and she's qualifying and making sure that the leads are actually through. But what I've trained her to do is not just sell one offer, one way, one ticket. The way that we structure it and think of it like a hotel where you have like a shared room, then you have like a private suite, and then you have like the penthouse, right? It's the same with our offer. I have a low ticket kind of one-off course I then have a mid-tier ticket, which is a community, group calls with us, WhatsApp access, and that's the course as well. And then I have a higher ticket for people who want to work directly one-to-one with us, people who want to scale their personal brands, but also want to monetize their personal brands. You got to think of it as the Amex model. I base it off Amex. Amex, what they do is they do not try force you to go straight to gold. They look at you as a way to, okay, cool. You have enough money, enough satisfaction right now to be in silver, but their job is to get you to gold, okay? That doesn't mean that they're gonna get you to gold straight away. They're just trying to lead you down one avenue first to then get upsell. So me and Reid make a lot of our money from the upsell, and that increases the LTV of our clients, right? So what we do is we have a way where every client that comes in is directed and it's sold based off value, not forcing them on the sales call. So it's asking them, okay, what are their questions and concerns? And we have a very in-depth pre-call and post-call kind of assets, which is like VSL landing pages that I'll touch on in a second, which gives us a very clear understanding of like where this client sits before they come into the ecosystem. Because before I jump on the sales call, I want to know, am I pitching this guy on a one-to-one? Am I pitching this guy on the community? Or am I pitching this guy on the course? Okay? And so what happens is, then it really works in the back end. Once I then land this deal, because that's why the close rate's sitting at like 96% right now, because one, I'm taking my calls, because two, I'm not forcing the sale. I'm just organically selling. I'm just matching their concerns with the offer. But what really happens is the whole way that I've structured my kind of business is that the course will get you so much enough information that you have to join the community because you need to get to the next level. Then in the community, I will scale you up so much that you're ready to make money. And then you go to the one-to-one. Some people come straight into one-to-one. Some people start and go through the whole system. It's realistically like up to them on what they decide. Again, we're not here to like force. So that's the brand suite system that we like to call. And we basically like built that ourselves off like basically just our way that we want to structure it. And then the organic content system, which is at the top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel, understanding the emotions that the audience is feeling and then targeting that emotion to then obviously correctly build the right brand, right?
Does anyone have any questions on that, by the way? Because we know it's like a pretty unique system for us.
Quick question, what was the low ticket? It sounded like a value ladder that you were describing, whether it was the one-to-one that was direct access, there was some sort of a group, and what was the bottom one?
Just the course. So it's think of it like how I kind of think of it as like a coffee shop, right? So it's like you can either get the done like with you in a way where it's like someone will come, they'll purchase the coffee and then like they'll make it for you and hand it to you, right? It's essentially like our one-to-one. Then we have like, okay, cool, you buy the espresso machine and you make the espresso yourself. That's like kind of do it yourself kind of a way. Or you have the low ticket where it's just like the espresso kind of like, what's it called? Like just the instant coffee, you know? So that's the way we break it down. It's like the course, learn yourself. It's all up to you. You don't get any direct access to us, low ticket. Community, yet you get calls with us per week. You get direct access, what's up to us per week, and you get the course. So you learn itself, but you also get the community engagement. That way, my time isn't becoming a massive thing, and I can scale it extremely hard. Like our community is already over 100 members because of the volume, because of the fulfillment is so good. So you must really prioritize fulfillment if you're gonna run a community. Because if you scale it at scale and you're only taking one call a week, then the client satisfaction has to come from the course that you're selling or the program that you're selling, right? So client satisfaction is really important in that middle category, but that's what will scale you the most, because you'll be driving most attention to that. And of course, people will want to be purchasing the middle option. That's kind of how it works. And then the one-to-ones, like complete done with you. These are for guys like who essentially want to learn how to grow and build their personal brand within like a duration that we offer. And also time is there, they have the resources and they're ready to like go all in on content and they see it as value, right? But that doesn't mean that I can't convert a community member to a one-to-one client. Doesn't mean, because I'll just grow them really well and then upsell them. It happens all the time.
Right, and so price increases with access to you.
Yeah.
And you don't even have it done for you. It's the most expensive is still done with you, right?
Yeah, we don't do done for you because, again, it's
not as fun.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
It's not as fun.
Yeah, it's just like, we call it done for you, just as like a funny play on words, kind of confuse people out of it. But yeah, it's a full consulting offer. We don't do any done for you. It's just unnecessary. Consulting's fine. Yeah.
Did you start with one-on-one or community first?
So we started with one-to-one, and then that's when we joined the forces on January 16th, and we launched the community.
How do you go from one-on-one to community? Like, do you take
Yeah.
the people that you're working with and just throw them in the community as well? 'Cause
Yeah.
like, it seems like starting a community from the ground up seems like intimidating. Like the first person you close, you're like, welcome to the community, and like they're the only one there.
No, great question. Yeah. So you either got to firm it and you just got to tell the guy straight up and be super honest. Like I'm super honest on the calls, but what we did is we just took all our one-to-one. Don't forget, me and Reid did personal branding like separately, and we both had our own client base one-to-one. So then we just chucked them all into a community call, and we had to firm the community call to start with, which was an extra call, which like again, it's kind of annoying at the start. But like as soon as we launched it, we started getting people in straight away. So then it just builds on it, builds on it, builds on it. And then it's like time is essentially the only thing that will limit your scalability. So your time has to be very selective. And so that's why you have it as the higher tier option. Community is fine. People get so afraid of like a community call, and I don't know why. Like community, essentially if it's done right and if it's provided well, the way that we kind of manage people getting afraid of like joining our community is through WhatsApp. So they will have direct access to us via WhatsApp, okay? And the way that our fulfillment is built is that all your questions and concerns are there. And if you have actual questions and concerns, you'll send to us. But another big thing we do is Loom videos. So we will make sure that any question and concern is always added in a Loom video, and then we build this library of Loom videos. So they just search up the Loom and then it's there, right? So I'm really trying to force a way for everyone to get results because I am trying to maximize the upsell inside the community so that then people feel really reinforced. They build a lot of trust with you. Like imagine you buy from someone and you get a massive return on investment in terms of followers, which is a lot of people purchase us, they want just followers, right? But the right followers. And then they're like, holy, I've got all these followers, how do I monetize? And then it's like, okay, I can teach you now how to monetize.
Can you share the price points of the three?
I can't, sorry. I need this for YouTube.
Can I ask you, in terms of your qualifying process?
Yeah.
Right? When the DM setter, what's the questions that the DM setter asks the lead, right? Like for you to, when you're on the closing call, let's say, like you have that information, because I mean, I have experience on qualifying and everything, but it's more like financial qualification, right? Like intent qualification. But how do you do it for you to have that 90% like?
Yeah, great question. Oh, great question. So it realistically comes down to obviously understanding when they fill out the Calendly questions. They're very specific Calendly questions. Obviously, there's like a financial qualifying one, but also based off their account, my DM setter is trained up to like kind of analyze them. I know it's like quite like harsh in terms of like just like making a quick judge by cover, but the more you do it, the more you get used to understanding, okay, what's going to happen. And like realistically, if it's an inbound lead, then most of the time I'm pitching them on one-to-one because inbound's so much stronger. Where we do a lot of outbound as well. Like our DM setters are set to quite a high KPI for outbounds, and a lot of the outbound is also like unnurtured. And also you got to remember that like for someone to want to grow their personal brand as well, me and Reid do attract like everybody in a way because like our business is like personal branding, and everyone wants to build a personal brand, right? So like of course people come in. And to be full honest, like I'm very selective with who I work with one-to-one because like it's a lot of my time where I would much rather them join our community because like it's way better LTV, way better in terms of like fulfillment side for us. And it's just a way better kind of product in itself. Like otherwise then when I sign one-to-one, we're very selective with who we work with because like I'm putting all my time and energy into this person now. And I need to make sure that they're like 100% committed. So it realistically just comes down to feeling it out on the call. So I take a lot of my calls. So then I can like really feel like, do I actually want to work with this person or not?
That's really good. And you don't have any phone setters, like mainly DM?
So as soon as the lead gets booked in, my appointment setter has access to my WhatsApp and we'll message them on WhatsApp, but not call, no. Only call before the call if they're not responding.
Yeah.
But I touch on this, I got a lot more, but I'll answer more questions. So I know, yeah. You want to ask a question?
So do you usually offer them three different packages?
No.
So
So when I pitch the community, even if I know that they're going to buy the low ticket, because it's a price anchoring point. So they will see the ticket price and I know they're not going to say yes. And I instantly price anchor. So then they're like, okay, cool. And then I drop it to this and they're like, yeah, let's do it. And so it's like, it's simply just a psychological thing where someone will purchase from you because they see the price. And then they're like, okay, cool. Where if I drop it to the lowest possible option, it's like fitness coaches. I don't understand why they do pricing cards. They'll jump on and they'll be like, oh yeah, man, like here's my pricing card. Of course they're going to pick the lowest option. Like I'm going to pick the lowest option. Like it's just how it works. And so I always just say one price and then I just downsell on the call. Okay? But you never can upsell. I've only ever done it once. Yeah.
So if somebody like joins of community. In that case, like how you are like reasoning whether this person is like making progress or not, whether he's like stuck or.
Great question. CSM. So we used to we built this whole business off Google Sheets and Docs, and I'm going to show you how it works in a second. But now I've just brought in my own CRM. So I got a software engineer in, and I got him to build it for us. And in there, I now have a CSM hub. Every single client is tracked on a dashboard, and this is based off their progress. So each week, based off the community calls, we'll do like a revision, and this way we can track, and they're on a timeline. So we have like a timeline, week 1 to the end of like the duration of when people work with us, because it's so important you track individual clients, right? Even at scale with 2,000 people, that's fine. I'll just get another CSM in. We just got another CSM in recently. So it's like your CSM, it's like a fitness coach. I always relate back to the fitness coaching model because it's so good. It's like the more coaches you have, the more clients you have, you just get another coach. And then you just have, okay, let's say 50 clients per coach. And that way, they're just monetizing it. Again, it comes down to hiring the right people. Usually I just hire based off my clients because I know that they're the best because I've trained them myself. And so I've always just been hiring my clients because they're great. And so my top clients, I always offer the results. Yeah.
Both of our CSMs are current clients, which is great.
Yeah. Cool, okay. So, tracking sheets, very simple. I used to use this. So you don't need a big system. I used a whiteboard just to track back in the day. And so how it works is I'm going to open up the sheet. Now this is all yes. I don't use this anymore. Just to be super transparent, I moved it all to a CRM because like anything in life, you do get kind of that thing. You're like, oh, I really want more. And the only reason why I did it is because now we're tracking affiliates. Now we're tracking story sequences. Now I'm doing all this. I was like, I'm so sick of working out of 6 sheets. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to put it all in one. But essentially, my CRM is just a big Google Sheets in one. And also, I see it as an MRR model. So I'm going to offer it to now my clients, and then they just pay an MRR to continuously use this CRM. Okay? So the DM setting, tracking, sales, and then this is our Slack channel. So very simple. So we just integrated through Zapier, the Google Sheet, the sales tracking sheet, which I'll open in a second, and then the DM's tracking sheet. And what I did is I just ran a Zapier automation and a tally form inside of them, and I'll show you, and then it connects to this. So new sales runs through WAP Zapier, client details is connected, so we track each client individually, so then I get notifications each day. End of day closer report, which is myself filling it out. CRM pipeline alerts, now these are all connected to my new CRM. Community call, each call must be reviewed by any team that does a call. Super important, like I'm analyzing all these calls, what was right, what was wrong, what were their questions, because this is also data for my content. Whatever community client has and whatever questions they have, I'll just make content on this. I'll just make a trial reel on it because I know it's super important. Booked calls, calls recorded, call update, call summary, cancel. This is just basically Calendly Zapiers. That's it. So if I open this up, all right, so very simple. I just Claude coded it. Tally, my DM setup will go in and just fill out the tally report, which will link to my Google Sheets. Down here, it's basically just like a how to use. So my DM setter knows what to use. And then if I go to rebranded, this is it. Just new combos, calls offered, combos called, calls booked, follow-ups, follow-up sent, follow-up offered, total offers. Again, you guys, this is like details that you guys might not know, but that's okay because I just tell them what to use here. Okay? And so realistically, when it comes to this, if I'll show you how to use, this is what I'm tracking. I'm tracking new combos started, calls offered, so how many calls got pitched, calls booked, confirmed booked calls, follow-up sent, follow-up to offers, so how many follow-up DMs sent to existing followers, total follow-ups, auto sum of both follow-ups. Again, this is like a lot of information that like probably is not going to do nothing right now for you guys. So I'm going to give you all these sheets at the end. I've made like a template and you can have them if you want. Let me go back to here. Let me open this up. And then everything off this. Now I just inputted hella random data for you guys so you can see. But realistically, it's just like very simple. Cash, revenue, conversion, close rate, offers, deals, full pay, split pay, deposits. And then I just run this on a daily report and this is what I fill out. Very simple. I didn't really think it was necessary to track anything else. So that's kind of how I track everything from here. Now, what do I actually look at? This is it. I do a tally report that every client will sign, and this is the only thing that I look at. What piece of content inspired you to book a leap? Jake's business feed. So every single client that signs me will fill this out. This business account has 600 followers, and this is a one-to-one client, okay? So like this is a high ticket one-to-one client just following and buying from 600 followers. What content did you resonate with? Just the normal talking head. Okay, cool, I'm gonna double down on talking heads. What made you stop scrolling on the content? The authenticity. That's it, right? So like authenticity is key. That shows me that storytelling is a big component. That shows me that talking head's a big component, okay? What data do I actually look at to improve our business? Now, this is the CRM data, okay? So this is like obviously gonna not mean much to you, but it's literally the Google Sheet that I showed you. It's like new combos, calls offered, like that's it. I'm just looking at my close rate, my booked rate, and then how many kind of leads we're getting in. Because like obviously the close rate's the most important part. Where's the leads fluctuating? Why are they fluctuating? Because in an organic social media presence, it's super hard to have a predictability. And the way that you do that is by looking at, okay, in the month, when did I get the most leads? Okay, what content, what trial reels did I post? And then you just double down on that. It's very simple, okay?
Does anyone have any questions just for a break-in?
Yeah.
Break in that.
On your forms there, are those multiple choice questions or are they short answers?
Nah, they're short answer.
Okay, so people literally say the words like talking head.
They have to. Oh no, sorry. A couple of them are yeah, short ones, but they have to. It's in the onboarding stage. So the first thing they do when they sign with us is they fill out a form for me to get data.
Yeah, they can't do anything until they fill out that form as well, so we get as much data as possible.
Yeah.
They just feel like, so when you sign them, they just fill it out?
Yeah, so like in my Notion, because I only use WhatsApp and Notion. That's all I do for fulfillment.
That's it. Simple
It's
system.
unnecessary to do anything else I really see. Like I was going to move it to Circle, we were going to do all these big things, but I just have a WhatsApp community with a general chat and a wins chat. The wins chat just funnels client testimonials. It's also good. The students just feel really comfortable. They feel really good. It's like a very active community as well, which is super important. Like my CSM have KPIs, they have to be connecting every single day. I have to be connecting every single day. Reid has to be connecting every single day. Like it's a very active community. And so that way everyone feels very encouraged to post their wins. And as you would, if you get a win, it's super important, especially as a new creator. Again, you have to remember your ICP. Like what are the emotions that they're feeling? They've got 1,000 followers. That's huge to someone starting out. Like that's a lot of followers, you know? And like a lot of people discredit that just because they see all these big people online. So wins chat really fosters it. It's also great for testimonials. I'm just constantly, every single day, flogging testimonials. So much proof of purpose.
Yeah, all it takes is a message like any wins from this week, and we'll get like 5 or 6 people like, I got a sick win, and it's just great. And it just goes straight on the second account. But yeah.
Yes.
So we're looking to build out the Max community.
Yeah.
And I'm like debating between like Discord and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I think WhatsApp, like I'm kind of a little bit more concerned because like some creators don't want to share their phone numbers.
I haven't had
Do you
issue
find that
with.
not to be true? Like, you know, you've worked
I'll
with
answer.
Max, like where do you think would be a better platform for us to communicate?
So the reason why we did WhatsApp is because we're in a community that, previous to this, that ran it on WhatsApp, and then we also were inside Amplify, and I never messaged on Circle.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I'm whipping up Circle and messaging. WhatsApp, every single person uses, every single day. So it's so much better for communication. I transferred everything to business WhatsApp, so like the business, and that's where I also then can categorize it as a business. I've never had an issue with someone giving me WhatsApp. I've had a couple guys say, I don't have WhatsApp. I'm like, Devo, you got to download it.
Yeah.
Like just get it WhatsApp, it's free. And so other than that, like I realistically like don't see a concern in using WhatsApp at all. I think it's great. I think Discord's good as well. I think one thing that I am coming to kind of terms with right now is like we're getting kind of an issue with like the outbound messages, like getting restriction. And I see WhatsApp being tied to Meta. How much do I want to tie my business to Meta? Because if Meta goes down, my whole business is like kind of stopping for a second.
Right.
So it's like, how much do I want to integrate that as I scale? I am considering moving things to Slack. I probably wouldn't do Discord.
Right.
I probably would do Slack if I was going to do anything else. But right now, WhatsApp works fine. We're having no issues with it. It's easy process, and then they can easily just join on the onboarding phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just some like kind of proof to show you guys what's actually possible as a creator. So like Kayla we worked with, she's the best B2B closer in Australia. So obviously she's naturally great. When we worked with her, the reason what we did is, and the reason why I'm only showing you guys this is to show you guys like what's actually possible in the time frame, because a lot of people don't know what you can achieve in time frame. We scaled Kayla to 0 to 200K per month in 2 months. That is only because she has the B2B authority. She's the best B2B closer in Australia. We grew her account first, and again, I'm only showing you this to show the principle of a personal brand. She grew from 4,000 to 10,000 followers in 30 days. Think of how many qualified leads that is. for a $5,000 offer, boom, instantly sold straight away. Great. Marco worked with us for 3 months. He's 20. He does fitness coaching and he grew 40K in 3 months. Clay, he does 30K per month as a fitness coach. Clay, he just does 49 posts and he's at 42.6K followers. He just does lifestyle, so he loves brand deals. And then Colby is definitely our best. So 3 months, 115. This is what I love to say, know your ICP. Colby does flashier release. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Release
flashier
stuff, yeah.
release.
Super specific.
Very, very specific, very core offer. Again, all of these are business owners. That's why they grow so fast. If you are a creator, you're going to grow fast, but you're not going to grow the right way. This is a business owner right here. He does 35K MRR USD recurring from a $59 school community. It has like 700 members inside of it. That is simply because his content is positioned correctly. 222 posts based off 115,000 followers. Definitely great conversion on that. That's it. This is the free resource. Thanks, guys.